All right, hey. Uh, it's 3:12:15. Um, woo. Look, there's still light out. I caught a break today, I guess. Um, all right, so today's video is brought to you by friend Kenzie. Thank you, Kenzie. She wants to ask about two things actually. Number one, abortion. And the second thing is like tattoos and body modifications in at work and like in the workplace. If there should be discrimination or like should it be a right to not have any discrimination or should there be like limits when people or like, people should follow when they have a job or when they're getting a job. So the first one I'm going to answer is the big one, the abortion one. Um, so just from my opinion, I'm pro-abortion all the way. Um, I think that if you cannot take care of a child on your own, then at least like if you don't have a support system, if you don't have a partner who's willing to stay there with you and work with you and help you succeed and have a child, then I hate the idea of losing a could be life. But uh, I think that abortion is an appropriate path. Um, if you have a support system that's like again supportive of your decision to keep the child or keep the baby, if you feel that you can take care of it and you want to, then do it, hit it, get them started on life, teach them the things that you wish that someone had taught you when you were their age. When they hit your age, when you're however old, tell them about it. Tell them the craziness that you went through, and the indecision, the fear. It's scary, but I mean it teaches that lesson that life is so important. Um, Along with that, of course, people have to say it's a sin in the Bible to abort a child because, um, you know, there is life, the beginning uh, of a conception. There's a soul there. There's life there, and honestly, that's not actually true. Um, well, I can't say it's like not true, but up until about the 15th century, 16th century, 1500s. Um, it was believed, or I'm sorry, how about this? 13th century, 1300s up. There was a Catholic, not Christian but Catholic, um, professor of theology of like religion, named Thomas Aquinas, and he wrote that a soul enters the body around 40 days after conception for males and 80 for females, and that was the church doctrine. The Catholic Church, believed that a soul did not enter the body until 40 days for males, 80 for females, and that if the child was aborted before that happened, before about a month and a half, that it was not a sin. Um, because it was the time before ensoulment, before the soul again enters the body. Um, and that the belief of that life begins at conception apparently had its origins around like the 1860s, 1870s by Pope Pius the Ninth, I think. And that was that abortion at any point in pregnancy will cause for excommunication. I believe that meant from God. Um, let's see. I mean, again, I understand the religious point that if you cannot take care of a child, that regardless of what you believe, regardless of what people think, if you are pregnant, you have to keep the child, um, or else you'll be like shunned from your religion, so on and so forth, like by your peers, your religious peers, I should say. And I understand that. I understand that it's really more of a social construct. The fear that if you lose your child, that if you do not have the courage to take on a child, that that people within your religion will persecute you. They won't think highly of you anymore. They'll think that you're weak, that that you're a sinner, and the rest of it is kind of like small stuff to me. You know, I feel like there's definitely problems with like illegal abortions. There's a lot of ways to of course abort a child. Going to a clinic is again is the best way to go about doing that, instead of like the old fashioned way of like like falling off of a ladder and hitting stomach first. That's not the right way. Getting beaten is not the right way. Go to a clinic, get the medical advice of a professional doctor. That's what it takes. If that's what it takes, then all right. I don't think that someone should be kind of like crucified. That they should get like hurt simply because they chose to not bring a life into a bad situation, a bad life. And I understand that there's a lot of myriad beliefs on that, but that is my take on it. Feel free to comment. I mean, I honestly I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear everyone's thoughts about this. It's definitely a huge issue, especially in America. We care so much about it because Christianity spread here, and a lot of the like subdivisions and categories and denominations of Christianity have really blossomed here, and so it really depends on your point of view and your religious upbringing. But again, that's just my take. To the other part of Kenzie's request or suggestion for this video, tattoos, body modifications displayed in jobs. I take body modifications to mean again like tattoos, hair color, for women, breast implants, or like I don't know, like Nicki Minaj style booty implants, or you know what? Fine, just make sure that it's appropriate for the workplace. If you're working as like an accountant in a Fortune 500, I doubt that you're gonna have like the shaved head Macklemore look with like sleeves of tattoos everywhere. I mean, you're probably gonna be wearing like a long button down sleeve shirt. You have to have some formal style of haircut, like like mine, like normal, like kind of like the relaxed look. It can you can gel it back, you can kind of comb it over to the side and it looks good. Keep it short, keep it long, whatever. That's fine. Hair color, again, it's kind of inappropriate looking, but that's again for when it's formal. I mean, if you have a certain career that takes on a cultural aspect, like that, like kind of like the emo punk, like the rebellious look kind of thing, then fuck yeah, that looks awesome. Like 90% of the time, have blue, purpley, crazy, or like red hair, or like whatever you want. Have tattoos all up and down your body. I've personally, like, when it comes to girls at least, I don't like that cursive writing right here. That doesn't tell me anything about you. That means that, you went to someone that knows how to write in cursive. I've known how to write in cursive since, like, second, third grade. Face tattoos kind of freak me out. Unless it's like, like a cute little, like, like you got dots on your dimples or something. Facial piercings, I'm not a huge fan of if it's like multitude of it. Like if you have like an eyebrow, septum piercing, like, nose on both sides, you have like, you're like, like whatever, like all of that stuff doesn't look appropriate for a formal atmosphere. But fine, do what you want to do, express yourself however you want, and just know that people are gonna judge you, and people are gonna be like, "Fuck, you look awesome." Hey, like, who did your tattoos? Who did your piercings? How long did it, was it infected for? Did you clean it properly? Blah 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 blah. People are always gonna have questions for you. People are always gonna have comments about you. Same thing with that last part of it, just the abortion thing. People will say, "Congratulations, I approve of your decision," and that's them. People will also say, "You're a sinner. You're awful. I don't trust you," like so on and so forth. Like you'll get the good and the bad with both of these things. But the next part, is there some limits that people should follow when getting a job? And that's again to the body modifications, the tattoos. Again, depends on the job. If you're gonna be working at like a food place, like a cool looking food place, that at least that has like a more acceptable outlook on them. Do what you want. Have like those giant frickin' gauges that look like you can like fist your ear. Have tattoos. I personally do not currently have any tattoos. And that's because I'm poor. um, but yeah, things will change. And I know that I will get an appropriate spot, possibly on my shoulder, because I work as a tutor. And so, as a tutor, I don't know if displaying, tattoos is very appropriate. So I'm probably gonna get it like up here, and wear long sleeve t-shirts, sweaters, so on and so forth to cover that, because I don't want to influence the kids in an inappropriate environment, in an inappropriate way for their particular environment that I'm teaching them in. And so again, that's just my take on it. You don't have to, believe in me or comment. Or, not comment. You don't have to, hate like what I'm saying. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to, have that back and forth. As long as it's not an argument, that it's a discussion, a debate, and that's when I get like that real conversation. That's like the real goodness that I crave, and that is implants for the mind.